Hello and welcome to another episode of Sonya Maya's Psychology. I'm literally making this video so I can tell you to go fuck yourself with love. Today I want to talk about some reasons to masturbate that you might have not thought about, and it's going to be related to improving body image and self-esteem. Everything I say is going to apply to anyone though. But really, I just wanted to tell you to go F yourself in a loving way during Happy Masturbation May. And I am in a great mood right now, not because I masturbate often, but, I do. But because yesterday I passed my licensure exam. Yay! So it's called the EPPP. It's the licensure exam, the national exam for clinical psychology. And yeah, I'm a little bit tense. I did get a massage. So if you see me going like this, then don't mind me. It was a really, really long test and it was super duper difficult. So I'm going to be making a post next week on tips for passing the licensure exam for people who are practicing pre-licensed psychologists like myself. But yeah, this week we're going to talk about sex, my favorite thing to talk about. I do want to talk about how masturbating, especially in front of the mirror, can help boost self-esteem, regardless of who you are. I will say that I don't have evidence of this, but I think that because I'm bisexual and because I am attracted to women, this might be a little bit more applicable to me, an individual who is attracted to individuals of my same sex and femininity and whatnot. But I will say, I think it could be helpful for anyone to try. Trial and error it. See what you think. Even if you're not super attracted to yourself, or even if you don't think that you're super attractive, maybe it could help you feel more attractive. And I'm going to get into the psychology of it all in a moment. By the way, if you like this kind of content, hit that like, hit that subscribe, turn on those bell notifications. I do make a new Ask the Clinician or Sonya Maya Psychology video every Sunday. Let's talk about some body image issues, okay? Approximately 69 to 84% of women experience body dissatisfaction, desiring to be a lower weight than they are. And about 10 to 30% of men exhibit body dissatisfaction. Primary concern is that they want to be more muscular, and this comes from a lot of different things, a lot of societal pressures and whatnot to look a certain way. I mean, watching porn does not necessarily help with this because most of the majority porn has certain unrealistic body types, one could argue, and very, very large penises that aren't the average. Also, some women get labiaplasties to make their vajayjay look a certain way in porn. So that may cause somebody to compare what they're seeing in the porn to their own vajayjay and have some insecurities about that. And in the UK, approximately 1 in 5 individuals struggle with body image issues. So it's definitely a worldwide issue, but yeah, in America and the UK, it's definitely a big problem. I do recommend that you try masturbating while looking in the mirror. I would suggest finding a comfortable position and preferably a nice angle, at least to start, an angle where when you're looking at yourself, like, oh, I look pretty good right now. So if you can maybe bring a mirror to the side of your bed or pull up a chair in front of a mirror, maybe make sure it's a mirror that you like, that kind of thing. Maybe make it so the lighting is nice. Maybe put on a ring light, or maybe put on a opposite of ring light, something kind of low, something kind of, sensual. Set the mood for yourself. Because we tend to do that for other people, but not for ourselves. Light some candles, maybe get some lotion. What people neglect to realize sometimes is self-pleasuring your area down there. It's not that different than rubbing a nice lotion on yourself or getting like a massage wand, not the wand like vibration for masturbating, but like you get one of those things that massages your back. I have this really nice thing on my couch that massages my back and ooh, it feels so good. It's not that different if you take away the stigma associated with sex. Self-pleasuring, it's not that different, But we put so much emphasis on the genitals and people have so much shame that's been conditioned. But yeah, self-pleasure, maybe look at your eyes while you do it. I do suggest finding one part about yourself that you find the most attractive. Like if you really like your eyes, maybe look into your eyes while you're about to achieve an orgasm when you're wanking or auditioning your finger puppets in the mirror. I would say that if you like this type of mirror work, you could call it, or mirror play, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, it's kind of like the opposite of watching porn. Because if you think about it, when you first discover porn, or if you just watch porn regularly, you might be subconsciously or consciously comparing yourself to what you're seeing on the screen. And there's this aspect called mirror neurons, where if you are, even if it's through a screen, you're watching those individuals experience pleasure, and then you experience pleasure too, because like the energy, right? And it makes it easier to have an orgasm. That's why it's so much easier to come when you're watching porn. But you don't realize that you're unintentionally thinking, oh, that's what's perfect. And you're having that physiological feeling of arousal and pleasure and explosiveness while looking at bodies that aren't yours, looking at the unrealistic ones. So if you think about it, if you start masturbating in front of the mirror, you are conditioning yourself to experience that same feeling of gratification, but you're looking at yourself the way that you are right now. And you can work on a mantra like, I love and accept myself exactly the way I am right now. The thing about, little side tangent here, but the thing about mantras and affirmations and manifestation and that type of thing, your brain starts to believe what you tell it, but you have to be very repetitive. So it takes thousands of repetitions of reframing negative thoughts for your brain to build a neural pathway and actually believe that positive thought. So I recommend that you give it a try and start speaking to yourself in a kinder way. That way you won't be putting up with as much bullshit from people, because you're like, you know what? I'm pretty awesome. I am worthy. So goodbye. Goodbye, F-boys. Also, take the moment to get hot for yourself. If you're someone that likes to wear makeup and get cute, that type of thing, then do it for you. I have an issue with this. Every time I get cute, like, full hair and makeup and whatnot, I'm always like, ooh, I have to make content. Or, ooh, I kind of want to like go out and go somewhere so other people can see it. Or I want to go live. Instead of being like, you know what? It's okay to do this for myself. And I get that people, a lot of the time, they'll wear makeup and do their hair for other people. But if you get into the habit of start like getting sexy for yourself, that could be quite a confidence boost. You want to focus on the pleasure and experience rather than your appearance when you're doing this. So yes, find an angle that makes you feel comfortable, and then start really paying attention to like, ooh, this feels good. So there's a sex educator and author of Come As You Are, Dr. Emily Nagoski. She said that when we connect with ourselves during self-pleasure, it's about allowing yourself to explore pleasure without judgment, and it's less about how we appear. So it's less about how we appear or compared to societal sexpectation or expectation, and more about being mindful and that experience of like, ooh, pleasure. And the cool thing about it is once you F yourself more often, you start to know what your erogenous zones are, what you like. If you're looking at yourself in the mirror while experiencing pleasure, you'll start to pick up on your indications of arousal, like, ooh, my face does this. Ooh, this is how I look when I'm experiencing pleasure. This is potentially what people see when they're noticing that they're pleasuring me, if that is something that you do during partnered sex or something like that. So yeah, work on finding new ways to self-pleasure, diversify the pleasure, maybe start by just using your fingers, or maybe start with using a vibrator and then try alternating. So like sometimes you're masturbating with just your fingers or hands, and then other times you're using toys like vibrators or clit suckers. Really like alternate it so that you're not getting accustomed to a certain type of pleasure, but diversifying it and doing it more often so that you experience more pleasure. Because the more that you masturbate, especially, as a clitoris owner, you're building on your nerve endings, and you actually can have more pleasure the more pleasure that you have, which I think is super cool. And there is a phenomenon, if you don't use it, you kind of lose it, clitoral atrophy, but none of my Sonya My Psychology individuals are going to struggle with that. Because I know you're all going to make pleasurable decisions and decisions, and work on that negative self-talk, because we all do it to an extent without meaning to. We've been conditioned in society to not think that we're worthy or enough. So it does take intention to challenge that. So I hope you liked this video. Please like and subscribe and turn on bell notifications for more. And I will see you next week for another video about my story regarding the navigating the test anxiety, because oof, that was a hard exam, but I did it. Hey. Okay, thank you.